The school district has about 9,000 kids. We employ around 1,200 people, from teachers to custodial, secretarial, staff like that. I have been with Iron County School District about 17 years, and in that time we have added a new high school, a new middle school, and 3 new elementaries. We've grown by a couple thousand students. Our staff IT in general has not changed a lot, unfortunately, over the last 10 years. With all the influx of student devices and infrastructure and the things that we're responsible for, we are still nearly the same size we were 10 years ago.
Over the years, we started off with running servers on bare metal boxes, and it grew and grew and grew and couldn't keep up with the power and the heat.
When upper administration decides they got a bee in their bonnet and they want to buy some piece of software and they want it deployed and they want it now, what do? We had to go to virtualization.
We chose VMware. We had a little Citrix here and there, and that just grew, and we had to expand that, and it started getting bigger and bigger, and we were back to the same place we were almost. So
it was becoming a real problem. We had power issues, obviously. One of the big issues was environmental controls, being able to keep it properly air conditioned, and that was a huge struggle.
With VMware, we had some older servers that couldn't connect to the regular cluster that I was using, and our main Active Directory server had an older version of VMware. So when I needed to do something, I went to our VMware expert, and we had to try to back it up or do different things and clone it, and that was hard because I didn't have all the expertise I needed, and he went to a 1-week class to learn all the ins and outs of VMware, how to connect it to EqualLogic, and then the iSCSI connections, and there was a lot involved, and so I had to go to him whenever I needed something.
He was a busy guy, and yet he had to go and fiddle-faddle with the complexity of VMware from day to day. And so we moved to scale, and that went away. He didn't have to play with it all the time. In fact, it went from 15% of his job responsibility down to 0. He had other people that could take on that role and monitor for him, which freed him up to do more important things.
We don't have to have a scale expert to go forward. We can all participate because that's all taken away, and now we don't have to worry about managing our virtual environment. We can worry about all the other things that we're dealing with.
In a VMware environment, you've got switching vendors, you've got storage vendors, you've got compute vendors, right? And they're not always the same. Not all of them have the characteristics that you would want to have. And so, because of that, you're going to be paying a higher cost. Now, we don't have to worry about storage anymore because the storage is all built into each node. So, we know we saved money because we ran the numbers. And so we did save a considerable amount of money. A lot of the network engineers, people that are network administrators, people are also into storage and stuff. We've had conversations with them, and there's this huge fear they have that I'm going away, I don't have all the knobs and the levers and the dials and things like, they're afraid to leave that world of complexity that they felt so comfortable in, having options to do this, that, and the other thing. And my point to them was, what are you spending your time doing? Generally, if you're going to be managing a network, if you're trying to take care of people, you don't have time to be doing all that stuff. I saw Jeff, and I saw how much time he had to put in, managing all this stuff. I was like, you don't have to do that. Let's make it simple, dude. And when Scale came along and we looked at it, he looked at me and he's like, oh my gosh, this is gonna give me back my life, dude. And we were happy because we knew that was the right thing to do. We had looked at all kinds of different solutions. And we knew we had to make a change because our existing infrastructure was coming up. It was due for an upgrade. And So I mean, anybody out there that's in my situation, you know, you'd be best served to give it a try. You know, even if you're afraid to step away from all the levers and buttons and whistles, okay, at least step back and give it a try.
It felt like this is the evolution of virtual machines and where they're going. We don't need to have all the complexity and all that we've had in VMware. We just need something to turn on a VM, get something up and running fast. So that's the old system. This is the new way to do things. I'm convinced that we don't need that complexity